MJR Visual Podcast. As we attempt to better understand what's going on out here, we link it up, kick it about current events, always making sure we keep it a buck. Check us out online at talk1hunnid.com, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and everywhere else. Talk the number one, HUNNID. Thanks for being here on a Friday night and giving us your support. If you want to link up and be a part of the conversation, you can catch the live show on our website by clicking the live link in the navigation bar. Today is November the 20th, 2020. Go ahead and grab you a drink, some popcorn, something like that. Like, subscribe, share it, and we'll be right back.
You are listening to Talk 100 with Tim Skrilla, D. Murdoch, and Jay Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, this is your boy Untitled Chapter, and you are listening to Talk 100. Catch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch. Just search NCG Media, and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.
Fellas, what's happening? What's happening?
What's going on, brothers? Good people, good men, good black men. How's everything's all right?
Oh, that's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, another week. We made it.
Made it to Friday, baby. Everything. There's so much going on, man. What we gonna pop it off with the COVID update?
Well, part of why we made it, we might as well. We've been wearing our mask, especially Skrilla.
Well, we got a bunch of states leading the charge with this COVID thing. I was just checking out today: Texas, California, Florida, I think Illinois, and New York. Currently, we had 11.8 million cases in total, 252,000 deaths, and a whole lot of political back and forth still in November, man. What are we gonna do with this situation moving forward? Now we got a new president, and how you think it's gonna be different? What you think we'll see anything different moving forward?
Yep. Pfizer's going to come in and save the day like Superman. They're creating all the rest of their doses right now. And I believe a good portion of America will be forced to take this vaccine, and some won't be able to, because we got to have enough people taking the vaccine to where it's somewhat balanced out. Like you mentioned the other week, J. Ralph, but I think that's really what's going to happen. But
So you think
what's
they're
not
gonna
going to
force
happen
it?
is everybody lay back and not have the choice to take it.
So you think they're gonna force it on everybody?
A certain amount of people is going to get mandated to take the vaccine. That's just my guess.
So I just heard earlier today that they recorded like 2,000 fatalities just yesterday. And that's like the first time it's been like that since I think May of 2020. California is even finna go on a mandatory curfew for a month. And that's according to the governor over there, Gavin Newsom. So that's supposed to start tomorrow. So I think they'll be having to come in at 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in like all of the widespread areas. I don't think it's the whole state, but just in the areas that's, with the widespread numbers. So what you think about that, Skrilla?
Yeah, I mean, this is phase 2. COVID. We dealing with a lot of liberties being taken. COVID is real. However, it's kind of tricky because you got the rumblings in the background of people being forced to take vaccines. And then I don't know if y'all heard this, but they're even saying that once you take the vaccine, you still have to wear a mask and you still have to practice social distancing. So with that being said, it's kind of like, the they're not 100%. So it's going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be a fight. You got a lot of like a lot of business owners are suing the state and all over the country because you're shutting down their livelihood. And I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things. If everybody's wearing their mask and the numbers are still going up, is there something else to this COVID thing?
Well, according to like reports, the vaccine is only like 95%. So we still, you're gonna have to wear your mask and you're gonna have to social distance still. I mean, it's not like an instant. If you affected, it's not gonna go away instantly. So yeah, you still gotta wear your mask. You still gotta.
Correct. Just like any other antibiotics, I guess. The 7 days, hey, you can't do anything.
A vaccine is they basically inject the virus into your body in hope of your body creating a tolerance or some kind of defense against COVID.
But it's a pill, though, right? It's a pill. It's not an injection.
I thought it. Yeah, I believe it. I believe Pfizer's doing pills. I believe it will be.
Yeah, they said they was gonna have like what'd you say? 50 million pills, basically.
Yes, and they're gonna come right behind it. They said they're gonna come right behind it and have some more available.
I heard one instance is like 2 phases to the vaccine. Like you get one and then you wait another period of time and then you get another dose.
Yes.
However, if it's a pill form or they shoot it, they still, a vaccine is basically the virus in a sense.
Dormant virus.
So, I don't know. I just feel like I mean they're putting it in your body and then they're waiting for your body to fight it off. But here's the thing, either way, if you practice herd immunization, it's still the same thing. So and then we're looking at the fatality rate still less than 1%, so it's just kind of iffy with with the numbers going up. I don't know about y'all, but everywhere I go I see people with masks on. So are we, what's causing it? Is it really COVID, or is it just the flu? It's just a lot of things to consider. I don't know.
So before we move past it, then I want to know what do y'all recommend at this point? Our unprofessional advice. At this point, moving forward, what do you suggest people do to avoid it, to be a non-spreader or whatever? What advice would you give?
I'd say, go ahead, Skrilla.
Tighten your immune system up. Because I mean, essentially, it's going to come down to your immune system, fighting it off, because everybody is not going to develop symptoms, and that's what makes it so weird. Like I got an email from my son's karate teacher. So it was a student who had a test and it was positive with one test. Then they turned around, took a second test, and it was negative. Then they took a third test, and it was positive. So it's like, And did y'all hear about Erykah Badu talking about one nostril tested positive and the other one negative?
That seemed kind of believable right there. That kind of seemed a little believable, but just testing, like taking a test right afterwards, and then you test negative after you just tested positive, that's kind of weird to me. Yeah. Elon Musk was another one who said the same thing.
Well, why are you testing right after that? From my understanding, you shouldn't even be doing that in the way that outside of those rapid tests, but the full test, isn't it 48 hours?
Yeah, but it's a medical procedure, so it's always good to get a second opinion no matter what the test is, right?
Yeah, if a doctor say you got cancer or whatever and they give you a diagnosis, you would still go to another doctor, or they're going to run more tests. So I don't know. I just think that proves to the point that the tests were 80% I guess accurate. And there's technically still not a COVID test. You know what I'm saying? So they could detect a virus in your sign, you know, in your system, but it's not going to tell us if it's COVID or not. And I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things, man, where you got like, um, just like I said, man, you just got to kind of take care of yourself.
Hmm. Definitely,
Well,
definitely.
well, standing pack it's to me, and pretty much in anything other than if we're talking about something that's moral beliefs, and that's a whole different thing. Anything other than that, when you're talking about something that needs to be resolved, like I said, unless it's crossing the lines on something, sometimes that could be just a slippery slope on doing that. So yes, take care, absolutely take care of yourself. But for some of the people who are definitely open with, outside of if they do truly mandate a portion of people to take vaccinations, but people who are willing to do it, I think that I'm all for that too at the same time, because again, personally, if this was not some pandemic where that means it's also exploded worldwide like that, large scale, more people, even if they were a little bit skeptical on some personal disorder or some kind of medical condition that they found out, other than asking a million and one questions. Do we really have to have surgery? Oh man, do I really have to take this medicine? That stuff happens all the time when it's just you, and they might have some other studies. And there's a couple people here in the state that have it. It's handled the same way where you are concerned. The whole family might be there and everything. But this is all extra blown, and all of this thing of, well, I don't know which way to move, and should anything be done at all, because this is a pandemic and because it's just been a worldwide thing. If it gets back to how probably decisions will get made on a lower scale, then it'll be less thinking on, well, what should we actually do?
Yeah.
I think it needs to get sit. Why don't you scale yourself back? Oh, we can't scale it back because of this big thing. No, it's big because everybody else had it. It's not big as in it's not big technically, as in if you treat it the same way on you personally making a decision on wherever it is could do. Because other than that, other than quarantining, then you are making a personal decision. Like I just said, if it was another small scale medical situation, that's just where I'm at with it. And then
Yeah, and
another thing, let time do its thing. Let some time do its thing. Let's let this roll out. Forget even, I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but later for that. Let's let it roll out, make it happen, and whoever's gonna do it, and then let a little bit of time go by. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe that all of these medical professionals are in on this hoax. A lot of people feel like it's just a hoax, and I'm kind of like back on that. After just bouncing back and forth from, yeah, everybody's tired of the mask. I know I am. I'm tired of all of this, just all of it, man. But it's just hard to believe that the hospital is in on the trick, you know. And you're hearing that a lot. You're seeing that a lot out here. Now, Skrilla, did you get a chance to see the like any of the litigation with Donald Trump and this recount and all this type of stuff?
Yeah, it's just going through the process. So
He
I
been
don't know.
losing. I heard he been
They've
pretty
been
much
losing.
losing.
Yeah, they've been losing a few.
I saw
Um,
Georgia just said that they recounted, hand counted, and now it's a wrap. Numbers don't lie is what the Secretary of State guy said over there, and so I guess that's a closed case in Georgia too.
oh yeah, it was a done deal from day one. I mean, they gonna stand behind those numbers, whether they're real or fake. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's not like they gonna say, "Oh, you called us." You know what I'm saying? How old is Biden? 77, 70. We were
Pushing
just, I was
80.
just,
I guess
huh?
it's safe to say he pushing 80
Yeah, he's
hard
pushing 80,
for
and he's
sure.
saying he's not gonna run a second term, and I think he'd be close to 90 at that point.
Mm,
So this
yeah,
is interesting. This is
interesting.
this is
I
this
heard
is
him
very
say that he was not with everybody saying that he's gonna lock the country back down and this and that, and he said that he's not gonna lock the country or the economy down. He's gonna lock down this virus. So I don't know what he's gonna do differently, but
his COVID administration, that part of his administration said that we needed to shut down for 6 weeks.
Right. That's lockdown. How can you
That's
lock down the
so it's a
virus
lot of
without?
double talk.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you think we can survive another lockdown like that?
No, no. This economy is going to tank, and see we haven't even felt the first effect of this whole year of business and like so when you think about it, that's pretty much was playing out with some of the business owners. They're getting together and saying, hey, let's rethink this thing, because if you're telling a business owner to shut down, he can't do business, or and this is their livelihood, there's going to be a negative effect on that, because they got employees, they have loans they owe, even on a smaller scale, like your real estate investors and things like that, where you're pausing evictions and people behind on their mortgages. So if you're telling people to stay in the house and they can't go to work, um, the economy is still moving. So it's,
But
it's
only
it's like
for a
a
short time though. Like how's the economy gonna move when 7 million people done fell below the poverty line? Since this all began. Like
that's part of it. That's part of it, and that's the negative effect of just shutting the country down with no plans, or like I mean, if you're going to shut the country down, I think you can do it more systematically, because you do have to think of the economy, because again, the death rate, the death toll is less than 1%. So it's kind of like, the virus is real, but is the pandemic real? you know I got
mm,
that from a boy, um on the urban X podcast earlier, and they was talking about pretty much the similar thing, what we're stating. um like I'll give you an example. When Governor Whitmer shut the country, shut the state down, she didn't take into effect, the magnitude of, like, just say your local landscaper who's working outside, who's probably not going to come in to your house. He's outside, but when you shut everything down, those guys were affected. And most businesses, they have loans, they have payroll, they have different things. And what Biden is proposing is we'll borrow our way out of this.
hmm yeah.
So again, it's like you're going to put the country in debt. So I think cooler heads will prevail, hopefully, and you can work something out,
That
because you can't bail you can't bail this country out with loans, and how they're going to pay them back. Who's going to pay it back?
I heard a
If
report
nobody's working.
today. Right, exactly. I heard a report today that it was hundreds of billions of unspent funds from this previous stimulus. And then they also
Mm.
said that it was 130 billion unspent from the PPP. That's two separate programs, and from them two programs, they got enough money to give two extra stimulus checks. You know.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Now, and once I got a chance to get in on my a little bit for me, would be that's actually the basically there's no we don't need to redo this stew, put new things in the gumbo. What has to happen is the same thing that happened the first time. You're going to do a 6 match. So the businessmen, they don't need to panic, because it's not a panic thing. And the people don't need to panic either, because what should happen is go into that money and then make sure that it's actually go ahead and give a loan so they can float, so they don't get behind on their what they owe. And they can stand approve the unemployment, since those same businessmen have to temporarily, if it's for a month and a half or 2 months or whatever the case may be, sit the employees down, go ahead and approve their money and give the stimulus pack so they're not jammed up. Maybe the federal government comes in and gives a little extra money like they did also this earlier time. And then just kind of go from there after a couple of months. And then you got the vaccine working there with everything else. That's the new addition to all of this. But and then also continue on the basics. of wearing the PPE and everything else. And that's kind of where you are, minus anything else, minus any theories, minus anything else. In reality, try that. It's going to fail, or it may not be as accurate. It may not work completely out. It may not do anything else. That's where we're at. Or just don't do nothing. And then let's see if the death tolls go up. Let's see how sick people get. Let's see if schools, if kids last in school since they brought them back in school. Already seen in the NFL, and yeah, that's entertainment, but it still worked for them. Every other week, certain amount of players going up. So like you mentioned, Skrilla, so it definitely is real, but the measures of it, well, we can guess on that. But again, if it just stands packed and they wouldn't don't get too worried about a vaccine, and we stay at that point, then I guess we can just continue to just let this be this way. And it won't be a blame game either. Oh, but that's because of what Trump rolled in. And oh, now it's on what's called his watch. No, that would be because collectively nothing's done. Nothing's done, nothing's done. And if something's done and it doesn't work, then you find something else next. I thought that was how life works, period. That's how your private should be in your private family, your personal self, and everything else. So that's what this is. But sometimes, hey, and that's just my thoughts and two
But
cents.
see,
But
what's
sometimes
going
some
on at
things
the
too
same
simple.
time? What's going on at the same time is that 15 million people are on record unemployed. You know.
Well, you got to deal with that first. Yeah, you got to deal with that.
Well, you got to deal with it at the same time as you're dealing with the virus. You know,
I know that.
A lot of
But
things.
how much money you just said, but I'm gonna circle us right back to where you just went to, because there's nowhere else for us to go, and we're not going anywhere else. I'm gonna circle you right back to what you just said on the numbers, right? On what some money is there, and either the money is there or it ain't there. Like my mom don't have to cheat. Just tell me no, you ain't gonna give me no allowance. Don't say you have it when I know for a fact my parents are worth 1.2 million. Just say, Daryl, I'm not giving you any money. So we're gonna circle right back to what it is. And we ain't talking about brawling nothing. The U.S. funds. If the money is there, then repeat, like I just said, what you did the first time. Make sure that unemployment is addressed. And Skrilla, for those people, yeah, the realtors too, you're going to be on hold too. I don't believe in throwing out people on their ASS because they want to keep moving the economy and collecting checks. If those people don't have the money coming in, and even when they get unemployment, what the first thing has to be essential survival of getting their basis, not paying $1,300 on the rent. That needs to be on hold. You will get your money later. See, you don't want that to be the case, but it's just what it needs to be. And everybody don't need to be just throwing out anybody. All of us on the streets, except for people who literally are rich. No, this just happened on a small portion of what just happened earlier this year. So is it going to be some new wizard ways of dealing with it? Well, let's see who's got that. Other than that, tweak the same thing where it is and use the resources and do that, and let's see where we get from there. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, the scary part about it is we're heading into what would be a big spending frenzy, if you will, for these holidays. And here in Michigan, it's for the holidays, it's 2 households for the holidays. So meaning you're gonna make the choice of inviting your mom over or your brother over or your sister over, and pretty much, I mean, they're pretty much telling you to stay at home and, do your thing, as far as that is concerned.
But is that
Which
smart?
it's a
Is that smart?
no,
And why not?
no. It's not smart because at the end of the day, it's a tricky thing because now your liberties are being infringed on. Now, if y'all want to make that choice as a family, that's fine. But I don't think the government should be telling you, oh, who to have in your house.
But
I
how
sent
are
you
they
that
to
clip.
manage? How are they to manage the pandemic or the virus if they can't really, give you advice or create these curfews and all this type of stuff? That's the only way, because people are not going to be responsible enough to, social distance and everything else that need to happen because of the virus. Like you said, you believe that there is a virus going on, and you know people personally, and you see it happening at the school and all these other places that you probably frequent. I mean, what other way is it to manage it without kind of like managing the people too? But
I
hold
mean,
up.
that's a tricky thing.
Yeah,
That's a tricky thing.
but we're gonna be right back. I'm gonna let you answer as soon as we come back.
your boy Montel Skrilla, and you are listening to Talk 100. Catch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch. Just search NCG Media, and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.
And we're back. So how is the government going to manage the virus without having a say in what the people are doing in the communities?
Again, I'm a fan of the herd immunization. So it's going to happen. Is your body is going to come in contact in some manner, shape, or form with COVID. And what I would like to see more of, if the government is going to, I guess, quote unquote, help us during the pandemic, then put out the real facts about it and how to combat it naturally. Because that's typically, because if you give everybody the vaccine, we're still at 0.0 because it's not 100%. And to say that is 94% is still ineffective in a sense. And that's basically what the science is saying. So again, we shut down another 6 weeks. It's not going to go anywhere until basically there's a strong enough resistance in our bodies to combat COVID. And that's basically where we're going to end back up at. So why shut the economy down? And it's again, I'm not saying that that's an unwise decision, but when we look at this pandemic long term, our liberties are going to, because if they're going to write these laws in, and basically the government is going to be able to tell you how many people can be in your house, where you can go, that's the reality of where we're at. So we're not going back to, basically being able to make our own decisions. The government is going to say, oh, well, it's COVID season. So, in the house, and then too, not to even just speak on that. I was reading about the Bobby Brown Jr. Thing, and they put out a report and said there wasn't any foul play. I guess apparently he had flu-like symptoms and he passed away.
Yeah, I heard that too. Shout out to the Brown family though, man.
Yeah,
R.I.P. man.
Definitely.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about that. Wow, Bobby's
28.
Yes.
Yep.
At 28 years old, he has lost both his kids. Oh my goodness.
Well, he got 7 kids, but he
got
lost
7
2 of
kids.
His daughter at 22.
2 of them are dead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to them. Shout out to them. I know they need a lot of love and support right now. So that's tough.
Exactly.
Sure.
It's tough. And they
Wow.
did. You're right. They said he had flu-like symptoms a couple days prior to, but they also said that they didn't suspect him to have COVID. I don't know if they tested him, but
I don't know. But I would. What the interesting part about that was Mr. Lee said that there was no foul play. So I don't know why he would lead with that. But
yeah, right.
that was kind of interesting.
They don't even
well.
say how he died. Did you see exactly how he died, the cause of death?
They didn't say what the cause of death was. They just said there was no foul play. He had flu-like symptoms, and he died at 28. Man. So we don't know anything more than that. I mean, unless, they're coming out with something as we speak. But that was a sad thing, man, because you think 28 years old with all of the rappers and just everything in the news line, all these kids were, I call them kids, but man, all these guys, the rappers and Bobby Brown Jr., all under 30 years old, man.
Yeah, Freeway son just passed away too, man. Shout out to Freeway, Philadelphia Freeway. Yeah, he lost
Philadelphia in the house, Philly in the house.
Yeah,
man.
You're right though, but it is they're dying younger, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's all going away younger and younger.
younger and younger.
But I
man.
think it's a
like,
whole lot of stuff that played into that. Like, I don't know, what I mean, just as a whole, it's just a lot of bad stuff going on, man. We about that money. And a lot of that, force us to do a lot of things that, can mess you up. Diet, people got all this money, their diets is all messed up, no lack of exercise. We just sitting around, and it's as a whole, as a society, being entertained by our devices. And so we're not as mobile as we think we are, just because we carrying these mobile devices. We use those sitting down. Usually.
Hey, man, I've been exercising more and eating better, because you got to take some good out of this too. You know what I'm saying? Because I just took the time, man, just to get me together. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, I mean, it's sad to say, but, the pandemic kind of made that, this virus kind of made that real for you. Like, man, I got to tighten up, because it's not just COVID. We can come in contact with heart disease. And so just re-examining your diet. I went by the gym today and the gym was empty and everybody's in there with the mask on. I'm thinking to myself, maybe the bar shouldn't be full, but maybe the gym should. I don't know. That's just me, That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. We gotta kind of like take this serious in the sense of not relying on people to make the decision for us, but to make good decisions for ourselves, and that's kind of where I was at with that earlier. It's not to like negate the fact that better decisions, shouldn't be made. It's just the fact that what are those correct steps to combat this thing, and doing everything naturally that we can do to fight this pandemic as well. Is that's something that, we have to take in consideration too, because we can't rely on that vaccine that's not 100%. And if we're still going to be social distancing, then that only thing we can do is better ourselves, so to speak, tighten up on your elderberry and all those things, man, that's relevant to good health, period. Just even looking beyond the COVID, just cancer, heart disease, all of those things that was real issues, along with this should kind of like spur us into doing better, So, we got to just keep focused, man, and just keep our eyes open, because it's real, man.
Definitely.
I don't, but hey, D Morrow, I know we're not on the sports part, but I just heard them cancel a college game, Michigan State, and who was that? Due to too many players testing positive for COVID. So are we going to shut sports down too? I mean, that's where we headed, or is that going to keep going?
Well, it depends on how the numbers go, but they will just do it on a case-by-case basis and shut those immediate schools down if it's already a spread. So, and that's what you're seeing over there. I did hear a little bit about it, but didn't get a chance to catch the whole story. And of course, LA and the NBA, they're trying to get out. Everybody's trying to get out in front of it to some extent, obviously. Some of the basketball teams, because they're getting ready to start on the 22nd themselves. So they're going to get in that. They're going to jump on the slippery slope too and try to see how much they can go, survive like the NFL is. So they're already, most of the teams are going to opt to not have any fans in the stand. So less revenue right there. No hot dog sales and T-shirts and bubble gum. So with the kids and yes, in college kids, it's, they're a little bit more spontaneous and everything, just like, remember that big win that happened the other week? Who's that won the championship? J. Ralph. And hey, they rushed the I mean, it was jam packed.
Notre Dame and Clemson game. I think that was
because they upset them
the
and they
entire
rushed the
football
field.
was covered
I
with
mean,
people.
they were on top of each other. Forget. It ain't about social distance.
And
They
see,
were
that's
on
what I'm
top of
talking
each
about.
other.
The government being able to regulate a little better. It's up to the government to protect us ultimately. It's up to the people who are the professionals, and
But like
and
Skrilla said though, isn't that infringing on their thing? If they want to jump in and
well, I
get
mean,
excited and be next to the next man and hug
it's
somebody because they
touchy,
won a
but
championship.
that's why we got laws. It clearly, defines how and how much, and all of that type of stuff. So, but it definitely need to be discussed. Like, we can't just let everybody police themselves and do whatever they want to do. That's not going to work. Period. If it's something going around human to human, we got to manage that somehow, some way. Yeah, I'm not with giving up all my civil liberties and all that type of stuff, but we just can't let people just regulate themselves. The government is in place for a reason, so so there has to be a gray area. We got to meet somewhere. We can't allow them to just impose on all of our rights and everything, and then we don't get nothing out of the deal. So
Yeah, so most definitely they're gonna just monitor that one, especially at school there, because it could just spread like wildfire, as we know. So we'll
They
see what
shutting the
happens with
schools
that.
down up here now, man. There ain't no schools. They back um and on the online now.
back at
At
home.
least
Oh yeah,
yeah, they back at home,
Yep.
man. And did you see the report on Amazon?
some of the parents
Um,
might not like that.
Amazon
Getting into the drug
basically
game.
having a pharmacy.
Yeah, right. Right. Hey, I heard so is Kodak. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're trying to get in where they fit in. We might need to look at
Ooh.
some of them stocks over that way somewhere,
Hey, yeah, you
You gotta
you
do
sent
what
me
you gotta
those.
do.
Hey, yeah, yeah. When all you got to pay attention to it all, man,
Everything.
because at the end of the day, Amazon might come out on top. You got Bezos, the richest man, on
And that's what everybody should be trying to do. Come out on top. Virus free,
exactly.
fought through it, got through it, that was able to dodge it, and still able to make a living to pay for you and your kids or whatnot. Everybody should be on the same tip. So yeah, we gotta try to pay attention to what these corporations are doing, because they trying to come up.
Exactly. Hey man, we're gonna have. I told y'all last week, man. The Amazon's gonna take over, man. They the new Walmart. That pharmacy coming into play. They probably have a grocery store.
Yep. Yep.
It's like whoa.
And Walmart, yeah, you're right. And Walmart trying to do what they trying to do with the online sales.
Yeah.
You notice
but
how if
I
you buy
love it.
something from Walmart, it might not be
Yeah,
sold at Walmart. I mean, it's not a Walmart product. It come from some other business, just like Amazon.
but they're definitely trying to make sure at their store they're doing delivery. They're using that company DDI, delivery service, where people, it's kind of the Uber principle. So they're hiring direct people who are able to use their own vehicles and transport the groceries to the houses, and it stays pretty busy. Got a friend of mine down here. He does security at Walmart. He says, "Yeah, man, those orders at Walmart, they go in and out. A lot of people staying at home. They just might not. They might be going somewhere else. But the grocery side, oh man, I can go ahead and pick that stuff right off online. Go and have the shoppers pick it up for me, and then have it delivered through their company. Oh yeah. So it's getting big. It's getting huge. That's the way to go. So absolutely, yeah. If you can get in on that thing, as far as any kind of, like you just
Business.
mentioned, any
Yeah.
business that you can do on, just get on a return. Return. You just put some money in and
If you don't have a
get some
job,
return on investment.
if you don't have a job and you have a car, you got a way to make it now. You know what
You
I'm
got a
saying?
way to make it. That's a beautiful thing. No, you're right.
You know what though?
You're right.
Since you said that, I gotta bring up this craziness that's going on in Michigan, man. Now, if you got a
Uh-oh.
car, you might not even be able to get your car legal and legit on the street because you can't get into the Secretary of State. You got to make an
Oh
appointment.
man.
Listen, man, I tried to get on the Secretary of State website and make an appointment. The first appointment they had was March, and my birthday just passed, so it's time for me to renew everything and all of that. And the first available appointment was March 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, my birthday is in December, and I just got all my stuff this week. What you gotta do, man? You gotta go to the day, like the next day appointment, right?
Mhm.
You can't
And
get it. What I'm saying is you can't listen. When it's time to get an appointment at 8 a.m. and 12 noon, the site crashes just like the Nike site. It's like
no.
everybody.
I get what you're saying, because I had went like 3 weeks trying to get an appointment. Like you saying, I think my the initial appointment available was like in March, right? But somebody hit me to that next day appointment, and I ended up, man, just luckily, dude, I ended up going on there in the middle of the day, and I put it through on one location, and then it canceled my appointment. I guess somebody beat me to it.
Beat you to
But then
it.
I tried it again, and I got in the same day.
Same thing
It's
happened
weird.
with me. I ended up doing the exact same thing you just said. So
you
it
gotta
worked
do
for me the next day. You
you
just
gotta do
got to
an
be
end around.
persistent. But I can just, what I'm saying is I imagine us a lot of people who wasn't so lucky. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
and they
gonna be
riding
bagged
dirty.
up.
And they probably, making a lot of more money pulling people over, because people got to go to work. If
You
this
know
the
what I
only
did
vehicle,
though? I booked the appointment when I couldn't get through, and I saved that email, and I was gonna just be like, hey, I booked my appointment because I lost my license. You know what I'm saying? But just luckily I had to renew it anyway for my birthday. So I had that email. I don't know if it stands, you know what I'm saying? But what can you do? You know? Like, hey, I don't have my tabs, and because I can't get in. But I
Can't
felt
get
like
in there.
at least if I could show them I made the effort, then they'll be like, I don't know. It's kind of tricky, dude. And there's no rule book with that. So
Well, how would the police respond? Would they think that the person has got some effort? We'll be right back.
no, right.
You are listening to Talk 100 with Taylor Skrilla, D. Murdoch, and Jay Raphael. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, the police is locking niggas up. Simple as that.
Well, here's my thing. Right. So
That's
let's
how they
do so let's
responded.
do the hypothetical, which is actually a real scenario. So you get pulled over, and the police, you're in Livonia because you wanted to go to Walmart. Speaking of Walmart, they got all the special deals. You don't want to go to Myers. You want to go to Walmart. You didn't get a chance to renew your tags for the year, but you've been trying and everything, and you got the phone records on your phone. If Livonia police pulls you over, hey, where's your license and your insurance, which they already know you don't have your license because they can run it and see it, but they're going to ask you just to see if you're going to lie. You tell them, hey, I tried. Here's my phone records. I've even made my appointment and everything else. Montel Skrilla, are they going to feel bad for you because they know that, hey, the next appointment might not be till March, but you still just going out here to get your essential goods for your house? That's why you went to Livonia to go to Walmart. So are you going to give me a break and let me get away scot-free without a ticket, or what's going to happen?
I almost called the police station and asked them like what would happen if I got pulled over and I didn't have that. That's a good question, and I don't have the answer to that.
Come on, man. Y'all acting like y'all not from the hood. You know what it is. The law is black and white, and you trying to show your phone records and all that, that's having court in the street. They don't care about it. All that matters is, are you in compliance or not? That's it. You get pulled over and you don't got your tags and everything, they can do whatever they want to do.
They can write you a ticket and just take it to court.
Nah, they're
That's
gonna
what I
take your
would do.
car. They're gonna, depends on what. If you don't have your insurance and all that, they can impound your vehicle, all of that.
Well, you can get insurance, but that's something else. But your tabs and all that, that's kind of crazy. And I think
especially if you're
switching
switching cars. Especially if you're switching cars that you haven't been driving in a while, you got to go there and get your, like you said, get your tags and stuff.
Yeah, they locking you up. They looking at this as, we can get money time. Thank you, COVID.
Oh yeah, I'll fight it though. I'll go to, you know what I'm saying? They can write you a ticket. You can show up in court and tell the judge, like, look, man, this is my proof. And if the judge do you dirty like that, then I guess it is what it is. But at that point, I guess I would just fight it
I
instead of
wouldn't
paying
try
that
that
ticket.
without having all of this paperwork with me in the car from Secretary of State or something. I wouldn't try to go that route without just being able to show the police, look, I'm, on my way back, or, they sent me to do this and that. I'm working it out right now. This is my only vehicle. Anything like that. Not just, well, I'm trying to do it and you don't have no proof, you're going to jail. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen like that. It's a cult. That's why I said, man, you gotta kind of like, that's why I'm saying, like, when you just shut everything down and just, you're like kind of like with no recourse and no forward judgment. This is the type of thing you have on the table. It's just like, you could have thought this out better, in my opinion. This is what we pay y'all for, our elected officials, is kind of just, I don't know, kind of a little redundant at this point. But did y'all catch that versus battle last night?
I saw some highlights. I saw the highlights. I did see that when, the little beef, the little spat they had, or whatever you want to call it, when, Gucci
Yeah, I got to
was
go back
taking
and watch
shots.
that one. They said it was heated.
Yeah.
It got real heated.
Yeah, I can imagine a whole lot of people calling Jeezy soft by the way he handled it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What you think? Which side you on?
I mean, I'm with Jeezy. I think it was good for the culture, especially with all these rappers dying right now because they don't have a conflict resolution, or they emotionally led to violence and just not being able to think things out. I mean,
Right.
I don't think it was a L for either one of them, because at this point, if you felt like I sent somebody to kill you and you don't kill me, you know what I'm saying? Like, where is that really? It's just a mute point. Y'all not gonna do anything to each other. Y'all rappers, y'all collecting y'all money and y'all gonna get rich and keep it moving. And I don't feel like it's smart to just keep up a beef. Now,
I don't think we know that though. Quando Rondo was a rapper too, and so was King Von. So them being rappers don't mean I ain't finna come kill you.
No, but what I'm saying is, at some point, you have to make that distinction. Like, okay, am I going to continue to be this street guy, and live like I don't have anything to lose, or am I going to be intelligent enough to say, hey, what's done is done. We don't got to be friends at this point, because I mean, you're not going to do nothing to me. I'm not going to do nothing to you, and
Right.
just keep it up moving. Now, those younger guys, I think you're going to always have people that say, negative things. But I mean, at the end of the day, those guys wasn't going to do nothing to each other, because I mean, technically, if you felt like this man sent somebody to kill you, and then you get on national TV and say him by name, which technically that's dry snitching. So that let me know right then he wasn't going to do nothing to Jeezy. And Jeezy was kind of like, okay, I tried that, and it was what it was, And it's just kind of interesting, because you got to think, man, I like Pimp C said, man, them guys don't want to do nothing to each other, man. They making a lot of money. And
That's right.
they
Kids in college and everything. Jeezy got a kid in college and all that stuff, even though he's talking about all this trap music and live and die by the trap, but he's got a kid getting ready to graduate from college. Isn't that beautiful?
Exactly.
Now, that's a whole different story about the
that,
message
though.
and the music still that you're sending, but
we know these niggas. I mean, ego is sometimes bigger than the money, and you know that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
you're right.
Because we don't know what happened. It was bigger than Mo 3, wasn't it? Was that bigger than the money too?
Yeah, but he not no legend yet like these two guys. You know what I mean? I guess we could safely say that though, right? They established, they from, before, and I don't know. I just think that them egos, they not Donald Trump. They don't got Donald Trump money. I'm sure they're still trying to grow.
And T.I., I remember T.I. had an ego too. That's why he got into it with a couple of them
especially
before
with
this
this
happened
new
too. He was calling
technology,
people
man.
out.
especially with this new technology, people starting to see that this, dang, I can still make a whole lot more money. A lot of people are paying attention to that. So everybody is trying to recreate themselves online, on social media. You know, they leaving the rapping alone because this is more money than that. You know what I'm saying? They could be more independent. Them egos will get you in a lot of trouble.
You're right about that.
And Gucci kind of like showed that last night. Like, I don't understand why he would say all of that, you know, in front of the camera. But I mean, I guess I get it. He's selling that image, and but that's a lot of kids buying it too.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids buying it. And if he really does have a medical condition like being bipolar or something, because there was some words of that, then it goes right back to some people just need to take their medicine too to help them out, so he won't be going way off on the deep end like he did. But he's selling an image.
He did what he was supposed to do. I don't feel like that was gangster. That was just what human nature, you know, self-preservation. Somebody try to kill you, and hey, it is what it is. You're gonna do what you have to do if it's a life and death situation.
But
it wasn't.
Though. It was for the camera. It was so that everybody, you know, so it's a little bit different.
And it's a good selling point because, like I said, if he was really a gangster, you know, he wouldn't have said nothing, and he would have sent some shots back at. Because even because you gotta listen to what he said. He said, and if you send somebody back to me, I'm gonna put them in the box and send them back to you.
Yeah.
But he never said that I will put you in the box. You got like read between the lines. It's a good point, but really, like I said, he wasn't gonna send anything to Jeezy. You see what I'm saying? So if you felt like somebody was gonna kill you, we're not looking at who tried it. We looking at who you think did that. And if you didn't attempt on his life, then you just want to rap. You just want to rap at that point. You know, you want to say, okay, I'm a killer. Okay. And I guess that makes you, you know, a real one or whatever. But, you know, when you really in the streets and from the streets, you're not going to even broadcast.
You're not even going. You ain't even going to know. You can't invite me to nothing.
No.
You're a real gangster. You're not finna come to that. You know?
Yeah.
So knock it off. That's one thing.
It was good theatrics, you know, but you told the world that Jeezy did this to you, so and that just mutes everything.
That's his second time Skrilla saying that, because he actually came on the Breakfast Club, remember, a couple years back, and he said the same thing to them. So he's bringing it back up to bring validation to it. But the bottom line is, you're not going there. We're trying to keep the peace. So where's the selling point to this? Other than if
he want to sell some
records. I guess the street people are watching, so that's who it is. Hey, street people, listen, y'all hear what I'm doing, right? Street people. Okay, well,
I'm verified out here. Hey, did y'all see them pictures of the dude on the freeway shooting Mo 3?
Yeah, which you knew those.
They're broadcasting that. I did not see that.
Right.
That's crazy.
Some images. Right? It was 2 images on. I think it was TMZ. Like, wow, the cameras is looking at everything, boy. He was masked up, and they still ain't found him. They don't know who it is.
They don't know who it is.
But they got so many cameras in that city to where they could have followed that car wherever he went.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's just kind of like
they willfully turned their heads and went back home and let him go on where he was going.
Basically.
Same thing like it was explained about the Tupac situation.
They got the make and model of the vehicle though.
Well, they had to make a model of that Cadillac that shot Tupac, that went up that hill, according to everybody that was there. But they just just couldn't catch him.
Well, they didn't have all those cameras back then. Not like now. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
No, but they knew who killed him though. They knew who killed him. They knew who killed him. They knew who killed Tupac because it was witnesses there that seen the arm come out the car and described the arm and all that type of stuff, you know. So
they did a graph for the person and they identified the graph with it, but somehow we just can't get the actual person though. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and you know how that ended up playing out. They blamed it on Orlando, and he's dead. And his uncle, who was in the car with him, got immunity and told his side of the story, which is kind of not correct, but you know, he's the only one living in that was in that car that night, you know. So you know, there
Well, they
you
all
know,
stayed true until he did that. They all stayed true to not saying nothing, and it was a mystery all the years. And then he just pretty much said that after everybody's off. That way, now obviously the other two people, two people can't get incriminated because now they're gone. He's finished with his sentence, and so now he can clearly say it. And hey, somebody give me a check. That's just what
yep,
it's about.
yep, we're gonna make these documentaries, write these
Suge Knight
books.
is Suge Knight is washed up. Nobody's scared of him. They're just swinging on him in the club. Now, whoever thought that would happen these days? Just anybody come up and swing on Suge Knight. So he's not a threat. You got the other guys. They're all out of it. They're out of the picture because they've deceased. And so now he just, hey, I'm just gonna do a book now. I'm the last person standing and just get a check and just go from there. But yeah, like you said, in essence, the puzzle finally got put together on that whole thing with Tupac, and it's just unfortunate. But this has just gotten these little whippersnappers now. I mean, they don't even get a chance to. That's what we're talking about. They don't even get a chance to. I mean, at least Gucci, even if he is bipolar or even if he has some issues, whatever, didn't he do at least 9 albums? These guys, Mo3, can these guys haven't even completed 2-3 albums?
Yeah.
Tupac, a lot of albums. Biggie, at least he got, well, Biggie, that was a little bit short-lived on his end.
You know what it is? It's what I always say. Social media. That's the only X factor. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is instant, all this instant gratification and all this. You gotta be popping all day from the time you wake up till you go to sleep. It's just a different world, man. You can't, and then everybody's talking about it now. We had to wait for Tupac album to come out for real. If you didn't live over there in California like us over here, we was waiting for the album to drop to really see what he was wearing and what he was doing and all that type of stuff, or the video. Now you just watching Jay-Z and them all day. We say it all the time, man. That do something to you coming up. Watching that, and you know, it's just a new basic now. It's tough. It's a tough way to go. Hey, did y'all see Tory Lanez pled not guilty on this Meg thing?
Oh, he's sticking to it, man. He's sticking to it.
So he charged with what? 1 count of assault with a semi-auto firearm, carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm. Basically, he facing like 22 years, a little bit more, like 23 almost.
Yeah, that's I like to see how that play out, man, because
Tory Lanez.
If you've been following that, he's been saying that he was innocent from the jump.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect him to say he was guilty, you know. And I don't know. I still haven't heard from the best friend that was there, which the streets is saying that's kind of like who she was into it with, was the friend.
He was
I
supposed
guess
to be
her
messing with
Tory Lanez. Yeah, some kind of way. I guess he was messing with the friend. And then he started messing with Meg, and then the girl came in the truck and caught him and yada yada. And apparently somebody reached for the gun, and there was a fight over the gun, and the gun went off. That is what the rumor mill has said. So
yeah.
So it was him.
But it all
had to be his.
But it all came down to Megan wasn't playing that. You ain't gonna play me. If I'm gonna go ahead and start dealing with you, that's it. You don't play me with nobody else close to me. So it just got crazy.
Now they still trying to decide if they're gonna get him for violating the protective order, since he done came out with the album and he all on social media kind of like talking about it or whatnot. So they trying to get him, just more charges built up on him. Just how he been getting down. But one thing with this making me ask though is now I saw the video with Meg coming out and said, yeah, this nigga Tory shot me, this and that. And it just made me think like, dang, ain't that like snitching? Is it the same for women? And I'm only saying that because of the way her persona is and the type of energy that she put out. You would think that she wouldn't be down with that. But does the no snitching thing, does that apply to women?
If they in the game, it do. But I mean, you know, it's a thin line. And she's a rapper. They're not street people for real. So
Megan's a civilian and an
she's a
artist, is what
civilian.
she is, and
Exactly.
decided to make that as an image of what she is, talking about the things she talk about. But
that y'all know
until proven otherwise, Jay Prince did Jay Prince say she was somebody from the streets? He signed off on that. That's a different thing than how to look at it. Till then, she's an artist that decided to do a perception that she did. She could have been clean cut if she wanted to. She could be talking about other things than she talk about in her songs. But that doesn't mean she's living by street code. To me, she's a civilian, which is cool.
Just rapping like a stripper.
Okay, so why is they saying Tekashi need to get shot and he need to get killed and all that? Ain't he a rapper?
Tekashi's a civilian.
No,
Exactly.
well, he is, but he's a gang member. He chose. That's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You subscribe to gang rules under those situations. He was saying he was blood. He was running with a blood crew, and he was doing illegal activities with these guys. So he is the true definition of a snitch. But I've never heard Megan say, that she was anything other than, a twerking rapper. With that wop.
Herbal Rotation. That's what's up, man. But hey, before we get up out of here, D-Mar, I know you got a chance to check the draft out. Who you think came out on top? And how's LaMelo Ball going? How's his career gonna go in his first season?
Well, LaMelo Ball, I think, is going to have an opportunity to be a point guard playing for Michael Jordan. And I think that he's going to have a chance to really make something happen over there. And I think the marketing is going to be good now over there in Charlotte because of that. So that's a good thing. That was a good, smart move by the front office and Michael Jordan. So we'll see. Michael Jordan's been great. He's the legend and he's the GOAT as far as basketball, but probably one of the worst owners of a basketball franchise probably in history. Michael Jordan's at the top. So something have to eventually work for him. That's the only thing that's making me scared is because Michael Jordan's so bad as a franchise owner that this could be just some bad karma that it just don't work out just because of that. But hopefully not. Hopefully this works out. But I think New Orleans also had a good deal, and I think Golden State's looking good, especially since now they lost Klay Thompson. So that's my take really on the draft. So we got to see. But they're moving and shaking and moving a lot of pieces around too right now. So you got to stay tuned.
That's
for
what's
that.
up. That's what's up. Also, if you like live play-by-play sports action or live game recaps, make sure to check out Real Sports Time with D-Mar on YouTube and Instagram all week long. Real_sports. It's right there on the screen. _time. And also, we want to give a big salute to our sponsors and biggest supporters, New Leaf Home Solutions from Waterford, Michigan. Yeah, a premier real estate investment company. They can help you make your dream home a reality. Holla at my man Skrilla. His the Instagram handle is right there on the screen. Shoot him a DM, PM, whatever you call it, and we'll get you all squared away. Also, Herbal Rotation LLC, a company which services the Metro Detroit area. They help to build awareness to responsible herbal healing, also helping to diminish the harmful effects of opioid abuse in society. And check them out every Monday morning. They got a newsletter that comes out at 8 a.m. at herbalrotation.com. Appreciate y'all for listening. Like, subscribe, share with somebody. Show up next Friday, have a sip, have a drink with us, What you drinking,
Eat some
Skrilla?
popcorn. Some hot sauce on it.
You still put hot sauce on your popcorn, dog?
Oh, yeah, not to change, baby. It's going to do that till the end.
That's what's up. Talk
Yeah, it's been a
100.
good one, fellas. And now all we got to do now is wait till Monday. We'll see what happens. Trump has some guys has some people from Electoral College going over to Washington, baby. It's going to be a little bit of tampering going on, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, yeah, James Harden, too, man. Russell Westbrook. Trade talks. What's up with that before we get out of here?
Well, I think they did the front office a disservice to the Rockets, because once you start saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm disgruntled over here. I don't want to work here no more." Well, now you take away your own buying power, which is what you want to stay high, because obviously they're both MVP players. It doesn't matter how far they got in the bubble, but it still would have maintained it at a certain level. So now it doesn't diminish it all the way, but it just takes some of the topping off, because they're showing how by any means necessary can somebody get me out of here. That's not good for the buying power and leverage, I should say, for the side of the Rockets. So we'll see what happens. They just may stand pat and say, you know what, because we can't get anything for neither one of you, stay here and be disgruntled. We don't care. We'll deal with it the next year after next season, because you're contractually obligated. And if you just decide to do what Le'Veon do, and we still have to pay you, then I guess we'll just have to figure it out from there. So we'll see what happens. But I think they spoke a little bit too soon on these just trade talk. James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
We shall see. Stay tuned. Holla at us, y'all.
Shall see.
Talk100.com. Every
All
Friday
right.
night. Yes, sir. 9 p.m. We'll be in the building. We up out of here.
Peace.
Peace out.